Torres here. Day 2 of my new training camp to lose 10 pounds to get down to 160. I started at 190. I got to 170 my first training camp, and now my goal is to get back down to 160. Summer's coming, it's Speedo time. I'm looking to enjoy the beach this year. COVID kind of ruined that last year for me. I also had a broken leg, so now I feel better. Now everything's good. So time to get back in shape. I'm continuing that keto diet I did last time because it really helped me get some good results. I literally lost 10 pounds like within the first week and a half, within the first 10 days. It was kind of weird. I didn't lose anything the first 2 days, and then after that, I just, from working out and just limiting my carbs, I started like literally dropping weight fast. So now, we're going into this new camp. I got a bunch of guys joining me. So if you want to join along at home, you can ask me any questions or write me in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But besides that, everything's going good in the gym. Today's a good day in class. We had good morning classes. So morning classes are picking up again, so that's good. We got a 5 o'clock class now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if you guys want to train anybody out there sharing this video and you guys are in the area and you guys like training and you guys got to work all day or you got to be busy all night with your families, we got a 5 a.m. class, Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My black belt, John Narcy, he's one of the best guys I ever trained. He's teaching the class, he's there running the program. So you guys are more than welcome to come down. I was thinking of a lot of different things, and every day, when I want to make these videos, I just kind of recap my day and trying to get like lessons in life of what I'm going through or things that are happening in my life, and just how can I put that in perspective and make it a lesson for my students and make it a lesson for myself. So I have a lot of students that always ask me different questions, and they're all like, how did you get to where you got, without any help or not having a lot of money, or, because it's hard to become a fighter when you're struggling in the beginning and you don't have, parents that are going to just throw you money and buy you gear or get you rides or pay for your classes or your food, your nutrition. You don't have special diets when you're an athlete. And they asked me, how I overcame all those things. And I told them it wasn't even just that. I came from East Chicago, Indiana, so it's a socioeconomically depressed area. It's kind of like pretty much a ghetto. And even though to me it wasn't, it was home. Now that I've traveled the world and I got to see different countries and see different places, East Chicago was, like Gary and Hammond is kind of downtrodden. A lot of drugs, a lot of gangs, a lot of homeless people, a lot of people that are poor, and I called that home. And to me, I was never really a poor person. I never thought in my mind that never to this day I don't even think I was a poor person. I always had a warm place to stay. We always had food on the table. We always had somebody that was going to give us an education. We always had schools. We had an education, even though we had to walk. Kids, we didn't get rides in those days. We had to walk about a mile to school. And yes, in the snow, there was no snow days. It didn't work that way. And so the old days, it was kind of crazy. And, on top of that, you got, the gangs, and that brings the drugs and the drug addicts. And so you got people that are willing to jump you for some money or take your shoes or take your jacket or take your book bag. Or there was just drive-by shootings. There was just, people that would mug you for no reason or just try to jump you because you weren't wearing the right colors. So it was kind of a depressive area. And I think that growing up in that area made me a stronger person. Made me appreciate more of having things I never had before. It made me look at life a little bit different. And my luck, my blessing in life, being able to travel the world doing what I love, training the martial arts and fighting and living with some of the best trainers and some of the best fighters in the world. I've seen a lot of things. Before I got to do those things, I had to start from the beginning. And I seen Royce Gracie fight, first UFC, and I instantly fell in love with it. I seen a small guy choking bigger guys, and I was like, man, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. So I say that, and I'm telling people, I can do this when I grow up and when I get big, and I never got big. I stayed pretty much, I think in high school when I was a senior, I was walking around like at 120 pounds, 125 pounds. And that last year, I knew I was going to try to fight in mixed martial arts, and that was my goal. I just had no coaches, I had nowhere to go. So I started, lifting weights on my own, doing what I knew I'd see on TV from Rocky or Bruce Lee movies. And I ended up meeting some guys who were training to fight. And they took me in, and I got to go out there, but in those days, there was no 135-pound weight class. The smallest weight class was the lightweight class, and that was in the old days of MMA, it was 130 to 160. And then that middleweight was 160 to 190, and then heavyweight was 190 to 220, and then that was 220 above was heavyweight, super heavyweight. And I always fell in that range where I was 130 pounds, so just right in that mark, so I could fight. And I would fight guys sometimes that were cutting down from 170, 175 to get into the 160 range, so they could be the bigger, stronger guy. So, in that kind of environment, I was at a huge disadvantage. And, that wasn't just because of where I was born, but just because of my nature. Nature made me a smaller guy. Even though I was tall, I was really lanky. So no matter what I ate or drank, I wasn't going to put on no weight. especially in those days. Now I got the way, I'm trying to take it off, huh? It's funny how things change in life. But, through all that, I could have quit. I could have just went to school and got my degree and got a regular job and just not lived my dream. But I believed in this for so long, and I seen it in my mind and felt it in my heart like a burning passion in there. And I did everything I could. I knew I wasn't the most talented guy. I knew I wasn't the best. So I knew to catch up to guys that were bigger than me and stronger than me and better, I had to outwork them. So just getting up and just making sure I was just doing everything I had to do, training with everybody I could train with, not making any excuses, not feeling sorry for myself when I would lose or I would get hurt, and just pushing through everything. Living like that changed my life, and it made me realize that after I had my first fight, which I won in 10 seconds, by the way, I knocked out my opponent in 10 seconds, and I was so excited that I pretty much literally set a fire to myself as far as like my spirit, and that pushed me to become what I became. Gave me like a 16-year run in MMA where I was able to go out there and fight and do my thing and have an amazing time. So even after doing all those great things and becoming a WC world champ and getting to fight in the UFC for some time and just getting able to travel and do that, being on TV, commentating on ESPN, you kind of like, get this air of you're never going to lose your spot. You earned your spot there, you're never going to lose it, you're going to be here forever. And guess what? It's not that way. So, when you fall again from grace, and you hit the rock bottom part, you think you hit low and then you get lower and then you get lower and then you get to the part where you realize you can't go no lower because you're broke and you lost all your stuff already and you just kind of, you're doing what you can to get by. And for me, even after overcoming all that other stuff when I was younger, I had more stuff that I had to overcome, even after attaining all the stuff that I did. And, I had to get over my feeling bad for myself and the depression. I had to think to myself, I don't want to stay like this, I got to get up and I got to start moving again. I got to start doing stuff. I got to start being proactive and setting goals for myself. And the same things I did to become a world champion and become a great martial artist, I had to do the same thing to pick myself up and do it all over again. So I say that to say this, no matter how bad things get for you, no matter how depressed you get, no matter how, some people are unfortunate, they lose their homes, they lose their jobs, you got to keep fighting. You're the only person that's going to pick you up is yourself. You got to get up and you got to fight. And believe in yourself and set goals for yourself. You don't gotta set huge goals. You can set small goals. Small attainable goals are the best kind of set. And remember, your past does not determine your future. Just because you messed up in the past, or you had some mistakes in the past, you can get up and you can fight and you can make it better. You can make amends. Things will never be the same again, but they could be better if you pride yourself and you don't give up and you fight. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be remembered because you were a person who always fought back and always did your best? Or do you want to be remembered as a person who was a quitter? If anyone has any questions out there and you need some help, hit me up on Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter. I'll get back to you at my earliest convenience. I hope you all have a blessed day.